Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 7.
In the Club, aired February 12th, 2008.
And the synopsis is...
It's a Tree Hill reunion as an entire gang gathers at Tric to see the honorary title perform. Victoria turns up at the club, which infuriates Brooke. Meanwhile, Brooke sets up Millicent with Mouth, but Alice ruins it by threatening to have him fired for kissing Millicent. And then Peyton arranges for Mia to sing, and Lucas proposes to Lindsay, which stuns Peyton.
So yeah, I made you say the title.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, the titles that they come up with. I know they're all songs, but
mm-hmm. Yeah. So we start off at Tric, and Brooke tells everyone
this is
it's been too long since they've been together.
So is this like Tric's new opening, or I'm confused? Like they're acting like this is the first time we're all, but like I don't know. Like I feel like they probably would have been together sooner. I don't know.
Did they have anyone perform at the last time that they were there?
No.
Maybe this is like the first like live performance that they're having.
So like previously, if Tric was open on Friday or Saturday night, it would have been like just a DJ.
Yeah. So I think that's Mia. What was it? And then Peyton wanted to set up Mia for her first debut as a solo artist.
Oh, and the other thing is too, Cynthia. You have to also think about like how hard is it to get a group of friends together when you're all working, real jobs as adults. Like it's so hard to get everybody together because everybody has their own lives, or even if you are a stay-at-home parent, you still have other stuff that you might be doing, or responsibilities, and it's like, it's just so hard to like plan everybody to be together. I'm like,
yeah, and then you have it a little bit easier because at least everybody lives in Tree Hill still. So
well, I think they have it easy because like Peyton owns her own record label. Brooke owns her own store and fashion label. Lucas is a writer, so he can write any time of the day. Nathan doesn't do anything. Oh, I'm sorry, he coaches. I'm trying so hard to diss him. And Haley's a teacher, so obviously she gets out early so she can go, but also she helps Peyton, so never has time for her kid. So it's like everybody has a job that doesn't really require them to work.
Yeah, fixed
like
schedule.
Okay, you got to work Monday through Friday, or sometimes at night, or whatever. They can just work whenever they please. So yeah, that must be nice.
Yeah, because with Mouth it'd be trickier because with news stations they could work early in the morning or late at night, so he would be the trickiest to get there. But yeah.
Well, and two, especially if there's like breaking news, you're probably going to be at the station all day.
Yeah,
and maybe throughout the night so that you can report the breaking news or the update. Because I mean, think about a lot of them, they probably have to just so they can keep up, so that everyone watches them since you're the first news station.
Right, but the only people who weren't there were Skills, Junk, and Fergie. They kind of disappeared, especially Fergie and Junk.
No. Well, not Junk and Fergie. But Skills was not there because apparently he was watching Jamie.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Jamie.
But so when Brooke does the toast, I'm like, then it's not everybody.
Because did they even mention that? Because I don't remember mentioning.
Yeah, because Nathan says that he wants to hang out with Skills and Jamie, and Haley's like, it's a no parent thing. And because Nathan thinks he's cool. And then that's when she says that they have the night to themselves.
Okay,
and I was like, okay, because at first it sounded like maybe he's just saying that, like, on any given day. But then when she said, well, we have housed ourselves, I'm like, oh, so Skills was watching Jamie. So then when Brooke does the toast of like, we're all here together, I'm like, then that's a lie. Like Skills isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not really everyone.
Right.
So you're minusing out a few people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I think like Skills is more in the group, obviously, than Junk and Fergie.
Mm-hmm.
They're always just like the side characters, where Skills has been more of the main cast. Because we don't know anything about Junk and Fergie.
Right.
But we know things about Skills.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said that they're just the side characters.
Yeah. Yeah, so they make a toast to being together and drinking legally together for the first time. And Brooke had Owen make a shot, basically, and named after her.
Yeah,
it's
Brooke
horrible.
Davis. And it was funny
Mm-hmm.
because she was like, and the bartender named it after me. And he's like, you named it after yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's funny in this episode because like Owen is just like not giving into Brooke, which
Mm-hmm.
guys usually did for Brooke. So
Right.
it's definitely funny because, it's a lot harder for her.
Yeah, and refreshing, yeah.
Well, and two, she like when she was popular,
Mm-hmm.
all the guys wanted to date her. And now that she is famous because of
Mm-hmm.
her, people might want to date her for that reason. And I like that Owen's not playing into that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't know anything about her.
And he don't want to. He's like, I'll just stay right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just funny how Haley said that one shot wouldn't kill them, and then they all take it, and then she's like, maybe it will.
So does that mean that Lucas hired Owen?
I don't know. It kind of made it sound like Payne almost did, but I know she didn't, just because she also works there with her label.
But if Lucas or if Karen owns Tric,
Mm-hmm.
that would mean that Lucas would, I'm sure she gave him either management or some part of Tric. Because she's not there, so someone has to run it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that's the case, then Lucas probably had to hire him, because who else is going to hire him? Nobody.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, isn't it weird how Karen let go of Karen's Cafe?
Yeah.
But she didn't let go of Tric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Well, because usually it's like, if I don't know, it just would make sense to just get rid of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that was like a hard conversation for Lucas of like, no, I want to keep Tric going.
Right.
Because I feel like that would be the only way for Karen to keep it going is if Lucas said he would take it over.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, who's going to? No one. So so then you would have to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's probably what happened. But, they just never tell you what happens.
Right.
We just always have to guess it.
Yeah, because we don't know what happened to Karen until later. I mean, we know she's away, but we don't know. We just know she's with Lily. We don't know anything else, around the world. So yeah, they don't tell us until a lot later what happened.
Yeah, they don't tell us if she's with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We know, but
yeah,
at this point, you don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Lindsay tells Lucas that she wants to go home because she can't handle being around Peyton.
Then why did she show up?
Yeah, she thought she could be the bigger person and be mature and avoid her.
No, I think she went there to babysit Lucas.
Mm.
I think that's the only reason why she was there.
And then they keep losing each other.
Also, what I thought was odd was that right here, they're giving Brooke gives a little toast. They're doing their shot. And in this group is Haley and Lindsay. But then, I don't know, what is a couple scenes later or something? Then they have like a hey and they hug. And I'm like, yeah, you just had a scene together.
Oh,
like all of you together. I'm like, and then they talk. And I was like,
yeah.
Wait a minute, you just had shots together.
Yeah, they act like they just met, yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of them just got there. So, oh my God, I'm still going to see you. But it's like, what?
I guess they had to make Haley point out that Lindsay colored her hair later, like Peyton, so then it'd be brought back later,
I don't know. I just feel like it could
which
have
was
been.
just, stupid placement, but yeah.
But I didn't like it because it's like, hey, come here, give me a hug. How are you?
Yeah, they could have.
What?
Yeah, they could have had Haley like after the toast and everything, and then Haley would walk over to Lindsay just to talk to her, and then point out her hair like that. So yeah,
Yeah, and because it could have been like, hey, are you okay? Like you feel off, or I don't know, just something instead of acting like you both had just gotten there, because it makes no sense. Because again, you just all did shots together. Really? You just saw each other.
Yeah.
So, and okay, so that's the thing. So you do shots together, Cynthia. Then you walk away. So it's like you and me, we do shots with friends. Then we both walk away, okay? Then we meet back up and say, hey, nice to see you. Give each other a hug. If we wanted to talk to each other, we would have done it right after taking shots. We would have been like, when everyone else is like disappearing to go do whatever they want to do, it would be like me and you, like alone time. We can talk. But it didn't happen that way. I'm like, that was my other thing was, wouldn't this scene have been right after they did the shots? Like I could see it was like Brooke says, everyone come over. And so you didn't see each other until then. But then after it'd be like, hey, wait a minute, let's catch up. What?
Yeah.
I'm like, that also made no sense. Cause again, even if they didn't see each other until the shots, they would have pulled each other off to the side afterwards. When everybody was going their separate ways. It was weird.
Right.
See, again, should have had me on the show. I would have pointed out how bad that looked.
Yeah, so Nathan orders water and Haley's surprised, but Nathan says he, wants to be responsible for a change.
I will say for Haley, she annoyed me, and she really should have just shut up.
Yeah, she kept leaving him alone too.
But it felt like they didn't know what to do for her. So it was like, let's bring up him drinking. And it's like, no, because think about it. If your spouse had been drinking for 4 straight months and became a drunk and mean and not supportive and not there for his son, would you really bring up drinking if he chooses to drink water? No.
Right.
Like, I can't see a sane person bringing up, you're not drinking? If he is getting himself a water, shut up. Don't even bring it up. Why would you even bring it up? He's ordering water. Perfect. Let's keep it that way. Not, oh, you're not drinking? Haley, shut up. Usually I'm on your side, but it ain't this time. Here's the thing, and I hate to defend Nathan, but I didn't like it because I was like, but it just seemed like the writers just didn't know what to do.
Right.
And it could have been just as easy of her kind of giving him a look of like shock that he's ordering water, not saying anything, but just seeing what he's going to do. And then him catching it and saying, I'm trying to be good. It could have been that simple. And then it wouldn't have been, oh, you're not drinking. No, let's just look at and see what he's going to do. And he would get that vibe and say something. But that's the way it should have been, not her asking and like kind of like poking the bear. And I'm just saying. And then really, that's really their only conversation.
Yeah, so I wonder if they had Haley, tell him that she's glad that he's back again, like how he was before, just because like it's kind of going to be ironic how it's like she's going to lose him to Carrie later on.
You mean right now?
Yeah.
As it's happening? Because she's already been losing him. Well, now and then okay, so I know in a few episodes in their therapy session, he talks about how she didn't give him attention, as in Haley.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I know that's what he says, and Carrie did give him attention, I'm trying to find pieces and moments that Haley gives him attention, because he makes it sound like, you know, that she's been just angry with him, and, you know, kind of like the whole 4 months, and it never stopped. And I'm like, but it did. Because here they were being all cute, and she was saying how, you know, talking about what's going to happen tonight and everything. And I'm like, to me, that's her wanting you.
Yeah.
So I don't understand when in therapy later on, when he says, you know, I didn't know if you were into me, and, you know, you don't give me the attention. I'm like, what? Like, because again, she is little parts. She is. What was it? The flashback. Remember, she was putting all those trophies, and then they kissed, and then they were all cute. And I'm like, again, what do you mean she's not giving you attention? You know, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He acted like none of this ever happened. All these cute little moments never happened.
Right.
And it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually bothers me, because now I'm really trying to point out all of the times that she does, because it's not like she, you know, just disappeared.
Yeah, I guess he just was thinking about Carrie, that he just kind of blocked that out, I guess, of Haley. Or something.
Wait, I think it was because he was trying to get you know how Nathan always, you know, gets himself in trouble and always finds ways to get himself out, even though I don't know how he could, like about the whole watching Peyton, even though, remember, he had just seen it, but then he said it was so long ago, and it was like, do your investigation.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. And then she just like lets it go, and it's like, huh? Well, it's like the same thing here. He's gonna blame her for it by saying that, and she goes along with it in therapy. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, she yells back at him that, you know, she's a mom and all this, but she never says she didn't give him attention. She never once says that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we would say. It would have been like, whoa, 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 buddy. You mean to tell me I never gave you attention? Like, she never fights that back when he says it.
Right.
And it bothers me, because she does. And I wish she would fight for that in therapy. But anyway, again, I think it was his way of doing something wrong, because he knows it's wrong, to flirt with the nanny. So instead, he blames Haley for the flirting.
Yeah, it's a
to get himself out of it.
Mm-hmm. It's a big change from how she acted with him in season 1, when she kept calling him out for stuff he was doing, versus now.
Well,
you know what I mean?
All she's worried about is him fighting and drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but she doesn't know that he's flirting with the nanny right now.
I know, but I mean, when you're talking about the therapy session.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but I mean, still, like, she hasn't called Carrie on stuff that she's done right in front of her, like the comments and stuff.
Is it because they're not friends, or?
I don't know. Or Haley could just be feeling really insecure, you know, thinking that she's less attractive than Carrie, so she's kind of like she doesn't feel confident in speaking up, maybe, I guess, anymore.
Because it just kind of, yeah, I don't know, that, like, it's just so like this couple has gone in a totally different direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like it, because do you remember when that at his bachelor party, when the stripper came after everybody left?
Mm-hmm.
He eventually kicked her out.
Yeah.
It was like, where's that Nathan? I want that Nathan back.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Nathan that doesn't want anybody like, think about when Rachel was trying to undress, even though I still think, that went too far. He still was like, nothing was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But here he's making it look like it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the thing is, didn't he learn a thing from the Rachel thing? Because Rachel went too far with him.
Right.
And I feel he went too far with Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially when your wife hates her. You don't exactly go in on your motorcycle with her.
Yeah, he was being too nice to Carrie in this episode.
But that's my point, is he's been too nice. Like, you can see all these red flags that she is throwing at him. And he knows it. He knows it's wrong. But he continues to do it. Like, I want the old Nathan back that wouldn't care. That would be like, no. That knows it's wrong and is going to follow through with it. Not this one that's like, I have a chance with her.
Right.
I don't have a chance tonight with my wife, but I got a chance with the nanny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that Nathan. I don't want to see the Nathan. I don't want to deal with it. No, I want the one we've seen the past 4 seasons. That's the Nathan I want back.
Mm-hmm.
Not this. This is like a totally different person. I don't know who he is. I don't like this person. Do you?
Mm-mm.
I mean, I don't even know how you can get this way.
Right.
Like, when you've been so good.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Haley's not. It's not like she hasn't given you attention. Because remember later on in this episode, she comes back and kisses him.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that? So when they kiss, like when she kisses him, that doesn't show you that she wants him.
Right.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so now Q comes up and he's ordering from the bar right next to Nathan and Haley.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm. And he's saying he's taking a sleep break from the book, and Nathan tells him not to stay out too late because they have morning practice. And Q says that he's been doing well, being on time for every practice, and he's just learning from the best, Nathan.
Yeah, and then it was funny because Haley said you could learn a lot more from Nathan than just basketball. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I guess when it comes to being a better person, because he was like you in high school.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then Nathan just like smiles. It's like,
mm-hmm.
But again, to Nathan, it's like Haley's giving you the satisfaction that you claim she never gave you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm gonna point it out every time now, Cynthia. And I think we should. I think for Haley's sake, even though I don't like her in this way, I still think we, like girl code, we definitely should point out all the times Haley actually is there and says something that it's going to come back to bite her in the ass, but it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then Mia meets Payne at Tric, because she asked her to come over there, and she's, all excited about the band, seeing them and everything. Then Payne says, how would you like to open for them, like tonight?
Who does that?
Right.
Like, oh, Mia, come on over. So you think you're hanging out, but then, hey, by the way, you're opening.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Right. And
who does that?
Yeah, she could have done it before the show, like to ask, to check for the sound check, because you never know what's going to happen. But yeah.
But I don't like that it was like, Tric's open, like she only has less than an hour? I don't know. And hey, glad you're here. Go on stage.
Yeah, does she even have her guitar
or her band or anyone? Like, I know later on we know she does, but it's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like that at all of Peyton, because she might have needed a night to get herself prepared. I didn't like that at all.
Mm-hmm. And then, so Peyton's excuse for telling her last minute is that she didn't want her to get scared and run off again, like she did after Victoria.
Okay, like I get that, but at the same time, she's your artist and you should respect her enough to give
Mhm.
her time. Sheesh.
Yeah. And then speaking of last minute, Millicent gets there, and she's all ready for the date with Mouth. And, Brooke then says, basically that Mouth doesn't know about a date. So, that makes Millicent feel bad because, like, what if Mouth says no to the blind date,
Right. Like what if he's like not interested?
Mm-hmm.
Like how's Brooke gonna get away with that? By paying him probably
Right.
to like her, and then that'd be, another disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when Brooke tells Owen, like, how does she look? And she's like, hot, right? Because she's wearing the clothes of a Rose original. And he said, you're the prettiest girl in the room. And then she's like, did you hear that? You're the second prettiest girl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I was like, Brooke, no. What?
Yeah, it could have sounded mean from anybody else, but it just sounded funny with Brooke, how she said it.
Like, obviously, she's trying to say she's the prettiest girl in the room, but
Mm-hmm.
but again, the wherewithal of Brooke. Like, come on. What? Owen did not say that. I'm glad Millie heard that because, like, think if it was like if she wasn't standing there and then Brooke said, "This is what he said." Like, I'm glad she was there to hear that. That's not what he said.
Right.
But I was just like, oh my God, Brooke, again, putting yourself, like, you're trying to make this girl feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's make yourself even better. But you're the second prettiest.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, oh my God. But here's Brooke. Here's Brooke at her best.
Mm-hmm. And then too, she says that Owen doesn't even know that they're on a date either, but that's not stopping her. So
Okay.
taking off chances. And now Carrie walks in all dressed up and makes her way to Nathan.
Oh my
And then
God.
he has to tell her she looks nice.
What?
Mm-hmm. And then she makes the comment she was afraid her dress was going to fall off.
Okay, what?
Mm-hmm. Like entice him.
What? I mean, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't. I can't at all. Also, you know how desperate that is?
Right.
Like, she can't even invite some friends to go to Tric to spy on Nathan. She has to just come up there as if she has no friends.
Yeah, I think she has no friends. That's what it is.
Well, she should have made some and invited them or something because, like, it's very desperate in my mind for this whole episode of Carrie because she's always around Nathan. Like,
Yeah, it's obvious she's after him. Yeah.
yeah, like, I mean, read the room. Somebody might be watching, and I'm glad it was Q because think if it was like Lucas or somebody. It's like I just wish, I just wish she would, go away.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad Q's watching.
Yeah. And then she orders them to shots, but of course Nathan isn't drinking, so she drinks both of them. She takes a lot of shots in this episode too. I think like 5.
Yep.
And then Peyton goes up to Lucas, giving him a check for rent. And of course
He
Lucas
said
is
he's not taking it. And she goes, fine, I'll mail it.
Mm-hmm.
It was
And they
funny.
fight about that for a good part of the episode.
Well, and then Lindsay comes up and, she was like, what's that about? And he said, oh, she just had a rent check for me. And she's like, he said that he didn't take it. And she goes, why didn't you accept it? And stuff. And he's like, he's not accepting it from Peyton.
Yeah, because they're friends.
Yeah, they've been friends for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that would only make sense if it was Brooke or Haley or something.
Yeah, like not really Brooke though, because they also dated.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like they're more friends than he is with Peyton. So,
I was just like, you're not making yourself look good there, Lucas.
mm-hmm.
I will say the Scott boys in this episode not doing good for themselves.
Right? Yeah, they're being a little too much like Dan.
Yeah.
Stubborn.
See, maybe that was the thing. Was like even though Dan's missing in this season, and even though for me, it's like Do you want to see him on screen? Yeah, because sometimes the episodes can be a little, not entertaining if Dan isn't in there stirring up the drama. But when you have both boys screwing up left and right like this, you don't even need Dan. You just got them.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about it. Remember, was it season 2? There was the episode and Dan wasn't in it. And I'm like, well, just waiting for him to pop up and he never did. And I was like, oh, like, because if he would have showed up, it was like the episode would have been 10 times better because it was like flat. But it's like, no, here, they have so much drama for themselves. Like, you don't even need Dan in this episode.
Right. Yeah, and then Lindsay points out that most guys aren't friends with their exes, and because his pain's different, of course.
Of
You
course.
know what that means, yeah. And yeah, so he says instead of trying to avoid her, maybe they could just work things out. So you should at least talk to her.
Yeah, because you should just, you came here with no friends. Yeah, you should just be friends with my ex so that we can all hang out.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Right.
Like, think if somebody said that to you. You just hang out. You just be friends with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
And you also came there for them and you have no friends of your own.
Right.
No. Because again, even though Haley is friends with Lindsay, like, should her loyalty be with Peyton? Yeah. I know it's not, but it should be. Brooks obviously is with Peyton. And it's like, that's the thing, is like you're coming into a friend group that's already established. You don't have any friends of your own here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
And then he's so hung up on his ex. But also, here's the thing. Lindsay knows this, right? Why does she do it to herself?
I don't know. Just how much she loves Lucas. She doesn't want to believe it, that it's true. That he does still love Peyton.
Because you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying is, like, if she's so worried about him cheating, like, that's basically why she's there all night, is to see what's going to happen between the two of them. If there's going to, she just is watching him. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you have to sit there and babysit your boy, they're not even spouses, just babysit your boyfriend all day or all night, that's not really a relationship you should be in.
Yeah, she's just trying to believe the words that he's saying and not the actions that he's doing, which is never good when it comes to a man.
Yeah, well, maybe she should talk to Brooke because he's always done that.
Mm-hmm.
His words and his actions are never the same.
Yeah. Yeah, so but it was kind of funny how Lindsay did walk over to Peyton and says, how you say you didn't like me? Well, I don't like you either.
And then he's just like, huh?
She's like, there, I said something.
And then Peyton walks away and it's like, yep, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you wanted.
Yep. So if that ever gonna happen.
You should have just kept them miles apart.
Mm-hmm. And then another annoying person bothering someone she shouldn't is Alice. Keep texting, Mouth. And, she's like, where are you? And he takes that Tric with friends. And then that's when Brooke sits next to him and, asks if he's the owner of Brooke Davis. And Mouth says, if only it was that easy. And then she says she has a present for him wrapped over there in green and to ask nicely before he unwraps it.
What? But I know.
Yeah. And
oh my God.
Mel says he's not sure about a blind date. And she asks if he's seen someone. He's, it was rhetorical, so she doesn't really let him, try to answer. So then she properly introduces Mouth and Millie to each other.
Yeah. And she said, fall in love, get married, invite me to the wedding, and sit me next to a really hot guy.
Right. I mean, they did meet each other the one time before, but yeah. And then Mouth asks Millie if he was like trying to remember where they met, and she's Brooke's assistant, so he makes a joke like he was her assistant too when he was in high school. So they kind of like laugh about that. And then Haley greets Lindsay, but we talked about this before, yeah. So Lindsay asks about Nathan, and she says that she's happy with how well Nathan's doing, and she's more excited about his steps and Jamie's and all that. Yeah. So then Lindsay says, mentions about Lucas sneaking off to see Pam the other night. And, Haley asks to to ask him what that was about. It was probably nothing, though. And Lindsay says everything they do revolves around Peyton somehow.
And then Peyton comes, and because Haley's like, oh, I'm sure that's not true. And then Peyton comes up and is like, hey, sorry, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
And then Haley goes, maybe it's a little true. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know, if you don't know, do you know Beetlejuice?
No.
Oh, well, basically you say his name 3 times and he appears, so I kind of felt like that. Like, you say her name enough, she'll be there.
Well, do you think Peyton is like also watching Lindsay maybe? Like Lindsay's talking to Haley, who's Peyton's supposed friend. Like, I'm going to go over there. Because remember, later on, she says, well, what'd you need? And she goes, nothing. And it's like, huh?
Yeah, I think she mentions that, like, she wanted to interrupt what, they're talking or something like that.
Yeah. So that's my thing is like, is she just like wandering around watching Lindsay, see who Lindsay is talking to? So I'm going to just interrupt anybody she's talking to?
Yeah.
Like, I just wonder if that, because I'm like, the fact that you knew that they were talking and you wander over there,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, you're really watching her.
Yeah. She was basically being territorial with everybody that Lindsay was interacting with.
Yeah, because it's like, these are my friends.
Mm-hmm. And then Q gets that shot from the bar when Lucas walks up, saying that better not be yours. And then that's when Nathan comes in and covers for him for some reason.
Why?
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's because.
Oh, he doesn't want him to get cut from the team, maybe.
Yeah, because Nathan knows that, practice-wise and stuff, he's been doing good. So it's like if Lucas, because Lucas can very easily be like, okay, don't come to practice anymore. You're off the team.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan doesn't want that because he's doing good for himself. So, like one mistake.
I can't be run over at practice, And then,
but also, has Nathan learned nothing that you don't learn anything from other people covering for you? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's never learned that yet. So that's why because every single person covers for Nathan. That's what it is. That's why he's helping Q because he's never learned that what rock bottom is and that, you actually have to own up to your failures and your mistakes. But, when everybody covers for you, you don't really need that, because you got Dan, Lucas, Haley, everybody's covering for you. You don't know what it is to actually have to own it.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. That's why he did it. Because, he never learned like everybody else has.
Mm-hmm. And then, Owen walks over and pours Lucas a drink, but it's actually the check from Peyton.
That was so funny.
Mm-hmm. And then Lucas asks, why are women so screwed up to Nathan? And, she just having a tough time being friends with Peyton. And he asks how, he didn't, Nathan. And he says they were never in love, so it's just easy.
Mm-hmm.
And, Lucas says Lindsay's married him too. And Nathan points out to Lucas that he just seems more upset about Peyton, though.
Yep. Well, okay.
I was just say, whenever someone brings up Peyton to Lucas, he always answers, I have to go find Lindsay. I'm noticing that. He says that every time. It's starting to annoy me really bad. But
even later in the episode, like the end.
Yep, exactly. Yep. I'm like, why?
This is Lucas's head.
Mm-hmm. Like, he can't answer the question, so he's just like, I gotta go see Lindsay. Like, he can't face his feelings, so that's his answer to everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. So he runs off.
Mm-hmm.
Like a scared little chicken. And then you've got just another bad freaking scene between Harry and Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
She comes, okay. I'm trying to be nice. She comes up and she tells Nathan, what are you guys talking about?
Right, being in his business. Mm-hmm.
Which I told you I'm trying to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is this do you need to know what these two were talking about?
Right.
No.
Mm-mm.
And then she was like, and then, he actually tells her, and she was like, oh, is it about, what was it? She said about wives and girlfriends or something.
Yeah, because he said exes, so she asked girlfriends or wives. Yeah. As if he's going to say Haley is his ex-wife now for some reason, or something like that.
I was like,
or that could be a possibility.
But here's the thing: as if there wasn't already enough red flags with the witch. That's her new name. I like to give people names. She then has to say, what? Wives. Now, I think the girlfriend's part might be about Lucas and Lindsay because that ain't gonna last either. But that's the thing. Only one of those relationships aren't going to last, and that's Lucas and Lindsay.
Yeah.
The writing's on the wall with that one, but it's like, Little Wicked Witch of the West, come on now. You are on something. Like, I cannot stand her. I cannot stand her. And that's what I mean, is like, you thought it was all at the worst, but it only gets worse. Like, how could something get that bad? And I'm sorry, but like, this is my point. It's like Nathan doesn't do anything about it again.
Right.
And here's the thing: even in therapy, when Haley says, like, why didn't you stop it? Well, he liked it. Yeah, he's loving it in this episode. And here's the thing: like, the look on his face, he knew it was wrong, but he's been doing that.
Yeah.
Like when she's putting his pants on, the look on his face was he knows this is wrong, but he's still going to do it. It's like, what more do you need? I can't with this. I'm like, I really wish I didn't see this scene.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, like, to protect. Do you remember when Nathan was like, you and me, like, against the world, to Haley? Basically, nothing can come between us. Blah 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 blah. Right? First of all, I want that Nathan back. Secondly, if that's what you believed, this would have been a great scene to be like, by the way, you're fired, and like walks away. Like, instead he says, Haley doesn't need to know.
Right.
Yes, she does. She needs to know every little thing that the Little Wicked Witch is doing. So that's what I mean. Is if you're truly in love with your wife, you would instantly fire her. And then when your spouse comes back and says, why did you fire her? You can say exactly why. She's been hitting on me.
Yeah, and then Haley would know she's not overreacting either.
Right. That's my thing, is if you truly, truly loved your spouse, you would do it. But not Nathan. Not Nathan. Not Nathan.
Yeah.
This is my thing. How did Haley stick with Nathan after this?
I don't know. Yeah.
Because it's so bad. Like, I'm sorry, but okay. You remember how we talk about like redemption? How can somebody... Remember when we said it? How could Haley get redemption from coming back from tour? Remember? Like, how could we like her after what she did? How could we like Nathan after this?
Yeah, maybe that's why she's being so... I don't know the word, but like she's giving him more chances because he forgave her eventually. I don't know. Maybe kind of feeling she has to return that back.
So basically, because he took her back, she's just going to go the rest of her life letting him make all the mistakes, even if they're the biggest mistakes in the world.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's just going to just continue to keep him?
Right.
Because you took me back when I was 16. Are you kidding me? Like, there's a thing. There's an age difference now between when you were 16 and you're 22. I'm sorry. And you got a kid. Like, does your little family... Okay, here's the thing. Nathan came from a broken home. Yeah, his parents were married, but, it was a broken home.
Affairs,
yeah, mommy did... Mommy Dearest was never home. So... You were raised with the devil. Well, here's the thing: is like Nathan knows what a broken home looks like, and yet he wants Jamie to be a part of one.
Yeah, because he felt like his mom chose that guy over him, and now Jamie can. Well, he looks scary, but still, he can feel like his dad chose his nanny over his mom or something like that. So
Yeah. And that's the whole thing is like, Nathan, you must not love your kid either. Because, like, yeah, you're going through a rough patch with Haley, but if you really think that you can't come back from this, then I guess continue. But if you think there's a chance that you could get her back, you know, to where you used to be, remember, because that's what he talks about. We're going to come back. Did you say our last episode or the episode before? We're going to get back to who we used to be.
Right.
Remember the flashback episode? Well, if that's the case, that you're going to come back, well, then why would you do this? Flirt with the nanny.
Yeah.
If you want to be who you used to be in your relationship with Haley, why would you, for a second, do this and not tell her?
Yeah.
Like, okay, you don't want to be the jackass to fire her, okay? Well, then tell Haley so she can do it. Because you know she would. Like, that's my whole thing. Is like, Haley doesn't know any of this. And it's driving me nuts because she, like, sorry, she's winning to the fact that she don't know about this. Like, so in the end, when there's this whole fight comes out, of course, we're going to be on Haley's side. Like, why wouldn't we be? We're seeing it.
Yeah, too bad ring cameras weren't more popular back then, because there would be cameras outside pointing at the pool and maybe in the house, and she would have been catching some of this stuff. So
and the looks that they give each other. Yeah, you would have been seeing that too. Yeah. I can't with this whole thing. Like, yeah, should she have gotten a nanny? No, I've said that. But I also don't feel like just because you hire a nanny means that in your head they're going to go after your husband.
Right.
You know, a lot of times they don't. So
yeah, if anything, she shouldn't have let her move in. But
yeah, because again, if you both are home, even if it's just one of you, you can take care of your one kid.
Yeah.
At night. Sorry.
And then elsewhere, Mouth is telling Millie about a crazy date he had, which involved capes and trying to get him to convert to Scientology somehow. So it's kind of surprising he mentions that in the show like this back in the day. But Millie says at least she goes on dates because guys usually talk to her so they can meet Brooke, which is really sad to hear.
Do you think that maybe they were trying to say something maybe about Joy? I know she wasn't into Scientology.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
But it could be like maybe a reference. Remember, because it's like converting. And they couldn't use what she was in, so let's just use one that's more noticeable, which is Scientology.
I mean, possibly, because the writers and the creators seem to love to write episodes about, the actors' lives personally. So
yeah,
maybe,
so I wonder if maybe that's what it was like about. Of like, we're just gonna throw this in there. Because where would you even come up with this? Like to say,
right?
That's weird.
Yeah, it seemed like more on the down low back then. At least it wasn't mentioned in TV shows. Like it was still kind of like not like a secret, but just something people never really talked about.
Well, when did you find out about Scientology?
I don't know, at least 10 years ago, maybe not too far after this episode, even though I didn't watch the show. But yeah, I just started hearing that this is something celebrities get into, but that's pretty much it.
Mine was the whole Tom and Katie.
Yeah, I think it was maybe that story. I don't know. It was somebody, probably them, but yeah.
Because I think it was around 2012 or something that their divorce hit. And that's when, of course, we learned that, Scientology. And it was like, okay. Because like that was, I think, one of the biggest divorces in our
time at the time.
In our time, yeah. Because well, American time, because obviously there's other divorces in like different countries, but like for us, they were the big one, I feel like. And I think theirs was the hardest one probably because of Scientology. And then after that, it was when Leah Remini came out and spoke and did all of her stuff on it. That's when it was like, oh, this is something, whoa. But it wasn't too far off because, again, I know people that are Jehovah's. So honestly, when I was like listening to the whole thing, like Leah's documentary and interviewing ex-Scientologists, I was like, oh, this reminds me of another so-called religion. And that's when she actually interviewed some people that were ex-Jehovah's. And she even said, wow, like when she was hearing their stories, she was like, whoa, this reminds me of Scientology. I'm like, yep, it's like one and the same.
Yep.
It must just be like a cult is a cult. Like they just come up with a name for it, but you know, it all like means the same in the end.
Right, yeah. Because I thought it meant something with science, but definitely not that.
Well, you would think so. Like, what in the
yeah.
hell? Not that I want anybody to tell me like any Scientologist, but it's like, what? Like, where would you even come up with that name? Like, it's weird.
Yeah, guess it's like a disguise, make it sound better, maybe.
Yeah, like you should want to learn about this.
Yeah, but I do like Mouth because after Millicent said about the the guys talking to her so they can meet Brooke, Mouth acts like Brooke Davis, like joking around, making her laugh about that. And then he gets another text from Alice saying,
my God,
like what time should she expect him tonight? And Millie asks if he needs to get that, but he says it's just work. So I was glad that he ignored Alice, at least in that moment, because it gets a little hard later when she shows up. But at the bar, Brooke signs another autograph, and Owen thinks, that she's paying people to, get her autograph. And, she says not to brag, but half of the people in the club are wearing her designs. So he comes back with, like, I don't mean to brag, but people are, everyone's drinking my drinks here at the club.
That was funny. I tell you, I love that he's able to like go back at her.
Yeah. And then Brooke tells Payne, she bets her and Owen have sex, right in the bar tonight. And
Payne's like all disgusted. Ew.
Yeah, wait till I leave, yeah.
But then that's when she tells her that her mom is here. It was funny.
Yeah. And, because Brooke at first thinks that she just was going to say that her mom's a bitch, but, Payne's like, yeah, that too, but. And then that's when Brooke sees her mom flirting with a guy nearby, and Victoria sees her and waves at her.
And then she goes, oh, mother F.
Yeah, but then it cuts off where it'll be a commercial, which I like when they do that. It's funny.
And it comes back with her going up to her.
Yeah. And then, Victoria's telling her to keep her voice down because she doesn't want the guys there to know she's a mother.
And she goes, so you want them to think you're a prostitute?
Yeah. And then Victoria brings up the Mason meeting again about rescheduling in, and Brooke says she did because, she works for her, not the other way around. And Victoria says, she made it crystal clear that since she seems to think she can do everything, she has time to party now, and basically wants to embarrass Brooke out of town just so she'll go back to New York. And Brooke says she's not going to do anything to affect her. And then that's when, Victoria starts dancing with the guy nearby, and Brooke's just kind of watching horror. And then Haley walks up to the bar. Yeah, we said that before. Like, he didn't. She just wanted to interrupt her. Yep. Yeah. And then mentions about Mia opening, and Mia's really nervous. So she's like backstage or somewhere playing pool, and she's so nervous she can't remember like the first line to her song. And tells of another time she choked when she was going to perform. And Haley tells her, you've made every shot, while talking to us, and she says she just can do it without thinking. So Haley tells her to, use that for being on the stage.
So when she talks about like everyone laughing at her and stuff, and destroying like Peyton's label and stuff, it was funny because like she didn't want to like fail, and Haley brings up Peyton failing at her label.
Yeah, because she's like, everybody fails. Look at Peyton.
Yeah, and it's like, really?
Yeah, it's kind of like when Brooke put that sponsor on Jamie's little racer jacket.
Yeah, but I feel like it's worse because it's like this is your artist who signed with you. It's worse to be like be like, she's a failure, just so you know. Like you don't want the person that you're signing with to be a failure like that. Right, so it's weird that Haley would be like, yeah, like Peyton. And it's like, because you're supposed to believe, you're giving her everything to believe in her to help you. And then that's what you hear. It's like, like, yeah. So in order to pump her up, let's say that your record label is going to, go down because, it's like, what? Like, who says that? That's not pumping someone up.
Yeah, she's just bringing pain down and bringing me up. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't like it because I'm like, again, it's different from Brooke when she didn't have anybody to sign. But now that she has somebody that she signed with, you don't say that to them. Instead, you're supposed to make Peyton look like the best thing ever.
Yeah, and this is the right decision she's making for her. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not exactly friends yet. I know later on they become friends, but not in this moment. They just met.
Yeah. And then back in the bar area, Mouth and Millie are playing a game called Ninja Bear and Hunter, like, rock, paper, scissors. Don't know where she got that from.
I was going to say, have you ever heard of this?
No, I think this is completely made up for the show, as far as I know.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Yeah, but apparently, Mouth does bear and Millie does hunter, so she wins, and they're just having fun, And then, of course, Alice has to ruin it because Mouth spots her at a booth, looking at him.
Yeah, and so when, isn't it when she texts him again?
And
no, he sees her. So he goes, he goes over there, and she goes, that looked kinky. She's like, want to try it naked? Oh my God.
Yeah, she's kind of being like Carrie, trying to get him away from the girl that is actually good for him.
Yeah, and then she was like, let's get out of here and stuff. And, that's when he was, trying to explain to her. Like, no, he ain't going. But of course, she, likes to threaten him with his job. That's the problem. He's never going to get away from her because if he does, he's going to get fired.
Right. And at first she lets him, believe that everything's okay. So she's like, go ahead, have fun, Then she keeps messing with him later. And then Haley goes back to Nathan, and that's when, she says sorry for not being around because of him and everything. It's just, she's dealing with Mia and being nervous about performing. And, she asks how he's been, and he says he's never been, realized how boring it was without alcohol at the bar. But then Brooke sits with them and says, a no mom role there.
And it was funny because Haley's like, I'm a mom. And that's when Brooke's like, you don't count. You got married and pregnant before you graduated high school. She said, you'll be safely locked in a home by the time you're 35?
Yeah.
What?
As far as she's going, yeah. And then the girls leave, making Nathan alone at the bar again. And then Lucas runs into Peyton, saying he's not going to take the check. And, Payne says that he would make someone else pay. And he says that she's not any other attendant. And she says she is now. And if he keeps talking to her, he's going to get in trouble.
I know. I loved that part. And he's like, huh? And then, that's when like Payne like looks over and it's like, there she is, just staring at you again.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, like Peyton and Lindsay are just staring at each other. They're just watching each other the whole time.
Yeah. So then, Brooke's at the bar and Owen acts what's wrong. She basically said it's her mom. And, Owen's taking back that Victoria's Brooke's mom, because she's gorgeous and everything. But then he says that it's like looking to her future. And he says it's a rough road ahead.
Yeah.
And Brooke's over it. Like, we're not talking anymore. And then Victoria calls for Owen and he tells her
yeah, he's like, what do you like to drink in 20 years? And she goes, poison. It was so funny.
Yeah, I mean, alcohol is basically poison as it is, but yeah. And then Carrie is sitting with Nathan again, taking another shot. And Nathan says he wonders if Haley knows what kind of girl she hired to watch their son.
Yeah, and she goes, what girl is that exactly?
Ugh. Yeah.
So when he says what kind of girl, she was like, oh my God, I didn't know. Like, basically, you were watching me, swim naked. Like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, you're not embarrassed. And you knew he was watching. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she was like, Haley asked me not to wear a bikini. And then I do something dumber. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like flirting with him right now the whole time.
Yeah. And then she's
then,
like, I know, yeah, no, I understand if you want to fire me.
Yeah, and he's like, no one's gonna fire you. You're doing a great job, and Jamie loves you. And then that's when
Yeah.
he says that, Haley doesn't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I did not like that at all.
Yeah, they basically let Carrie off the hook in both situations, like with her wearing the bikini and him, with seeing her naked, in the pool. So they're just both like letting her off the hook for some reason.
Well, all Haley said was, don't wear a bikini.
Yeah.
That was it.
Mm-hmm. But like they
And
compliment her afterward, like after point out the thing that she did.
yeah. And also, she said, like, basically, don't wear a bikini in front of Jamie. Well, when she was doing the whole skinny dipping, it was, well, Jamie's not around. He's sleeping. So,
Yeah, and she technically didn't wear a bikini, like Haley said. So
exactly. So she got away with that one.
yeah.
Again, think if the cameras were out, like, like nowadays with cameras, uh, Haley would see that she was swimming naked.
Yeah. And after, he leaves, it just says like, no, Haley does not need to know. Like,
like all happy about it.
Yeah, like being like, oh, like I got him now, got a little secret between us.
Yep. And like, what else can I get from him?
Mm-hmm. And then Lucas finds Lindsay saying he's been looking everywhere for her. And she responds with, if he keeps looking next to Payne, he's never going to find her.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm. But then, she brings up about him sneaking to see her at Tric last night.
Yeah. And he said that, he wasn't sneaking and everything. He just saw her car parked outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, oh, that's what, you're upset about. And like, why didn't you tell me sooner? And she's like, no, like you should have told me.
Yeah,
and it's like, and that's the whole thing is if Peyton means nothing to you and you're just friends, why wouldn't you come home and be like, I'm sorry, I'm late. I just went to go see Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, if you're just friends, you would say it. But if you're trying to be more than that, yeah, you're going to hide it.
Right. Yeah, so he just says that he was trying to convince his friend to be nicer to the girl he loves. He keeps saying that.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious because I was actually with Lindsay when she said, see, I'm still trying to figure out which is which. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Because again, is Peyton the one you love or is Lindsay?
Mm-hmm.
And who's the friend?
Yeah. So Brooke is still having a horrible time watching her mom dancing, and Payne walks up and tells her she needs a new office. And Brooke tells her, the one that you have is too far, far too big and free. And Payne says she'll sell for a small, expensive.
Yeah, and who's going to pay for it?
Right.
See, I wish Brooke would have said that. I wish Brooke would have said that, but like, I got you a free office, and now you want something expensive? Like, good, you can pay for it if you're going to get something expensive.
Yeah, because she's been paying for the studio time with Mia, so.
She's been paying for everything. She pays for Peyton's food and her housing because she lives with her.
Mm-hmm.
She pays for everything. So I really wish Brooke would have like thrown that in her face of like, because Peyton deserves that. Because Peyton's like, I'm going to get what I want. And it's like, with whose money?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like Brooke could have and should have said, yeah, and you can pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Payne just wants to get away from Lindsay.
Yeah, but how was that good for Brooke?
Right. And then Brooke, blurts out to Peyton because she kind of cuts her off about, like, I don't look like Victoria when dancing, right? And Payne says she'll say that if she says Lindsay's a bitch. So Brooke easily says her mom's a bitch, Lindsay's a bitch.
She goes, yeah, is there anyone you haven't called a bitch? And she goes, I can think of one.
Yeah.
And that's when she said Lindsay's threatened by her. And, and then she said it's not even like she's going after him and like that's why she came here. And she's like, you keep saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's what she said, for the record, you look exactly like her when you dance.
Mm-hmm.
And then she called her a bitch.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm. And then like Brooke tells herself she doesn't after Payne walks away too. And then Millie comes back to sit with Mouth at the bar, and he asks, what they were talking about before, and she says how cute he is, and he says he thinks he would remember that, but then he gets another text from Alice again, saying that if he kisses her, he's fired, and then she puts love to Alice at the end. Then he looks over at Alice, who's still at the booth, and Millicent tells him, she's glad that Brooke set them up, and then she goes in to kiss him, but then he pulls away, of course, because he cares about his job more, and she, is upset and embarrassed and says sorry and walks away.
Well, yeah, you would too. You thought somebody liked you, and then boom.
And
Well,
then
I was thinking too, like Millie isn't the person to make the first move, and she has like really today, like tonight she has a lot of confidence, and so yeah, that would make you never want to try again, like be the first to make a move.
Yeah, and it was funny how Owen like slides into frame and says, "Yeah, I hate it when hot girls hit on me too."
I know he was. I swear he was just so funny in this episode.
Yeah, and then Mouth sees Alice walk away, satisfied with the choice he made. And then Mia's still nervous and so doesn't know her song. And Haley's like, "Didn't you write it?" And Payne tells her to relax. She's gonna be great. What's the worst that can happen? And then Jason walks in, of course.
Yeah,
and
bad.
Yeah, and then he ends up talking to Carrie. And he asks if he can buy her a drink, and she says her date actually took care of that, like Nathan's her date or something.
Yeah, and then he just shows up.
Yep, and then
he says,
for her.
Yeah, he's like, "I hope you're not trying to sit on my lap." And then that's when Jason's like, "Oh, I'm just looking to, for someone to dance with." And he goes, "No, thanks." I'm like, Nathan, you are okay. How many red flags in this night, Nathan? Just in the night, do you need that she's throwing at you? Like, I don't understand. And that's what I mean. He is just going for it. I can't with him. It's like as if he's not married at all.
Right.
You might as well just take the ring off. Because right now you're single, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing Owen isn't the kind of guy to tell everybody what they're doing to each other, or behind each other's backs,
Because I feel like I would.
Yeah.
Especially this one. He's married.
Yeah, because they say like bartenders like know everything about people because when they're drunk they spill out stuff and then they just hear stuff. So
well,
like he's actually seeing stuff right before him.
Yeah, but then she makes it of course worse. But she was like, "I've never seen your jealous side before." And he goes, "And you still haven't." I'm like, right, Nathan, right. And she's just like kind of like giving that smile of like, "I'm on to you." And I just don't like it too much of these two.
Yep, and that's when Q walks up. Like you said before, he saw everything, but we'll keep it a secret because he had his back before about the shot.
Yeah, it was funny because he's like, "You flirting with that hot nanny?" And he's like, in the same club as your wife. And he goes, "I'm not flirting with anyone." And he goes, "Okay, like I know it when I see it and stuff." And I was like, "Oh my God." That's why I'm saying I just was so happy it was Q.
And too.
Because think about it, Q loves Haley. He could easily go and tell her.
Yeah.
And I really wish he would.
Yeah, that's when Carrie or Nathan sees Carrie on the dance floor dancing with Jason now, like looking over at Nathan, like trying to make him jealous.
Well, especially because it was right after basically none of us are going to dance with you. And then she goes and dances with you.
Yeah.
Like it looks so bad.
And then Payne checks on Mia, and now she's like rocking back and forth just off to the side. And Haley tells Payne that she'll be okay as long as the only lyrics to her songs are "Why is Jason here?"
That was funny.
That's when Mia asks Payne like, "Why is he there?" And she says,
she called him.
Yeah, apparently invited him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was no lie. I was like looking. I was like, "Really, Payne? Like, how low can you go?" But I was happy that she said she didn't do it.
Right. Yeah.
When Haley's like, "Did you really?" And she goes, "Hey, no." It was funny.
Yeah, but that was a good cover up that Payne said that she invited him before because most people, dream of the chance to stand up to the person that's kept them down.
But here's the thing, Cynthia. Mia's never performed on stage before in front of people. So here's my thing is in order for you to stand up to the person that's being a bully or whatever to you, you want to do it at your most confident, like when you've done it more than once. You don't want to do it your first time seeing them seeing you for your first time. You don't want that. You want it to where everyone knows who you are and they're just like loving it because you're such a pro. You don't want to do it when you're just starting out. She's never been on a stage, so why would she want to confront the person that's her biggest bully?
Right.
You wouldn't want to. So when Peyton said that, I was like, what? It's kind of like Peyton right now, or when she didn't have an artist. Would she really want those LA people to see her right there with no artist? No, they'd laugh at her still. you want them to see you when you have like all these artists and, you know, look how well they're doing. That's when you want those other people to see Peyton. Well, same thing with Mia. You want them to see her when she's like confident and she's done this before and, you know, the crowd knows who she is. So they're screaming her name. That's when you want them to see you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, not at your first time out. No, I don't agree with that one.
Mm-hmm. And then the second Mia sits on a stool on stage, Jason yells from the crowd that she sucks and gets up, tells her to get off the stage on her phone and everything. Nathan tells him to shut up. And then Jason keeps going, telling Mia to choke, and then that's when she glares at him and begins playing. And then during this, Lucas asks Brooke for a favor, and she says she'll do it if it involves drinking and flirting with the hot bartender.
Yeah, and then he says, like, you like Lindsay and stuff and Peyton. And she's like, what kind of favor is this? And then that's when he says, talk to them. What? She just met Lindsay. What would she even say to Lindsay?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even understand that one. I was like, huh? Yeah. And that's when she said, I like Lindsay, but Peyton's my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes a step further and says, and does either one of us really believe she didn't come back for you?
Right.
Like, here's the thing. If you're her best friend, you better keep that to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, Cynthia, but if you think I'm back for somebody, you better not go and tell that person.
Right.
Like, that just better be in the vault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whether you believe it or not, you don't say it to that person. She came back for you.
Right.
Instead, you can say, I know you think she came back for you. Not, we believe you, the two of us believe that. Like, no, you don't say that.
Mm-hmm.
You can say, I'm sorry, Lucas. I'm sorry what you're going through. I know you think that.
Right.
But you don't say you think that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, that honestly, like at that point, it made it sound like Lucas and Brooke are on this little island against Peyton at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because who says that?
Right.
I didn't like that either.
And then this was funny too, because Owen gives Victoria a drink called Bitter Shrew, and it's from Peyton.
And Peyton waves.
Victoria. Yeah, and gestures toward Mia, like, see, she is good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carrie is in between Nathan and Jason in the crowd, and she's like looking at Nathan. And Mia finishes performing, and Jason walks out. I'm pretty sure that's the last time we see him, right?
I hope so.
Yeah. And then Brooke asks Mouth, what happened with him and Millie. He says that he doesn't think it's good timing. He's busy with work. And she asks if he's feeling okay because she hands deliver a hot girl to him, and then he's worried about work.
So when he said that he was seeing his boss and she's, like to find sleeping or, seeing and sleeping with and everything, she, she says like, I wish you'd have told me that before she got Millie all worked up. And then he said she's great, but, it's like about his boss and everything. And she was like, Marvin McFadden, did I hear you correctly? Mm-hmm. And like how he's not the person she, used to know. And I'm like, yep. I love that Brooke called him out because it's so messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he was never that person that would do that.
Right.
So I was glad that she said, when you find him, call her.
Mm-hmm.
I liked when she said that part.
Yeah. And gives him his ARC number.
But he doesn't take it? What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the band plays, and elsewhere, Mia is telling Jason, like, thank you. Oh, yeah, I forgot about a scene here. There's actually 2 more scenes, but Mia tells Jason, like, thank you, because if it wasn't for him, she wouldn't have been so good. And Jason's like, the only reason people are clapping for you is because I told them, she was the R word, and Haley tells him he's just upset because of the talent the talent left his band. And
then he said, not as upset as I am with you, that you left your granny panties in my bed.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know why he just,
came up with that.
Yeah.
And then she walks away, and then he slaps her ass, and then Nathan, of course, gets involved, pushes him, and then Haley's yelling at Nathan like he's not worth it and stuff. And then that's when that's when Nathan goes, you're lucky and stuff.
Walks away.
Q comes up and boom, punches him. the ground.
Yep.
And then Q was like, you ain't that lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but it was so funny.
Yeah, and Carrie saw this too, of course. Like how Nathan did that.
It was just too good.
Mm-hmm. And then Jason is, escorted out by security. And then hopefully he should be banned at that point. Well, even though Q would, usually in real life, Q would be the one banned, but, because he threw the punch. But still, Jason was harassing Mia, so.
But again, Lucas probably owns it or manages it, so he could probably easily say Q stays.
Right.
This one needs to leave. He's been a problem to our artist, and now he's a problem to others.
Yeah.
He needs to go because Q has done nothing all night. And Lucas, of course, would, I think, protect him over that.
And then Victoria walks up to Brooke to say that she's right. Tree Hill is much better than Milan. And Brooke tells her she's acting like an idiot. And Victoria says she's acting like a child. And the difference is that she knows her behavior is ridiculous. And she tells Brooke, since returning to this god-awful town, she lost her way. And Brooke says to her, it feels like she finally found it. She's happy there with friends who care about her. And Victoria tells her, they're not her friends. Friends don't use you.
And then she goes, neither do mothers. And I was like, yes, thank you, Brooke.
Yeah. And that's when Victoria said she's done helping her. But, her company was struggling before she came to her. And if she thinks she can do it alone, fine. And she'll lose a CEO and a mother.
Okay, I'm sorry. When that part, the CEO part, I was like, wait a minute. I thought a CEO was like kind of like the owner, I guess, like sort of like,
yeah.
Like if you had a company, I would think like you'd be the CEO of it. Not, I don't know, but I guess if you look at it, other people are like CEOs of this and that, and they don't own it. Brooke would just still be the owner. I don't know. But okay. Victoria apparently is the CEO. I would still think Brooke would be, but okay.
Yeah, that's why I thought they both were this whole time.
Well, I would think Brooke wouldn't give her that satisfaction of being the CEO. There is one, I don't know what it's called. It's like for financial, like CFO or it's something like that. Yeah. And it's for like money wise. I would think that would be Victoria because she's the one that put
CFO
money. Yeah, money into it. So I would think that Victoria would be that and Brooke would be CEO, not Victoria.
Right.
That's just giving Victoria too much ownership and power of the company.
Yeah, and then she tells Brooke to grow up and then walks away. And that's when we segue to Haley telling Nathan the same thing. Saying that since they were in a bar since this accident and he's in another fight. Has he learned?
Well, yeah, he said, well, what did you expect me to do? Just sit back and watch while some jerk harasses you? And she goes, yeah, that's exactly what I expect you to do. And she said that she's not a damsel in distress. And then, is it the last brawl didn't make it clear you're not Superman? It was funny. But then, he says like, you're overreacting and stuff. And that he didn't hit the guy. And she goes, and he said he walked away. And she goes, I pulled you away and then quit and hit him.
I guess he learned from the best.
Yeah, I guess he's learning from the best. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing. Nathan is that person that will punch somebody.
Yeah, he gave her the speech before after she was hit by the car.
Yes. Do you remember when he said, I'm not going to stand here and let others hurt you? And she says, oh, I love you. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I see her side with him being hurt last time, but yeah, like he said he wasn't going to change, so.
Right then and there. He said he will never be that guy that stands there and lets someone hurt her. He said never. Hello. I was like, Haley, you knew what kind of person he was. I don't understand why you think that would all of a sudden change. Also, he said that he is trying to change. He never said that he has fully changed. And if anything, he's changing into a totally different person. But I was just like, huh? Wait, so honestly, when he says, what did you expect me to do? I was like, it reminded me of the exact same conversation in season 4. I was like, we just heard it. And we're having to relive it. But again, she stood by him. She never said in that speech that he made, she never said, well, this is what I want you to do.
Right.
She never did. She hugged him and said, take me home. She wants all the versions of him. This is the other version of Nathan. Get used to it.
Yeah.
When he's 60, he'll still be punching.
Yeah. The only version that wasn't acceptable was when he was in the wheelchair and then, everything with Carrie. But yeah, besides that, she should, yeah.
But I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, what do you mean this isn't what you expected? I expected it. It's Nathan Scott. And he's done this countless times. So he's gonna continue. Okay. But you know what's sad? Like, I think from here on, he doesn't punch anybody. Trying to think. He doesn't punch. He walks away.
No, she just does later on a couple times people. But yeah, I don't think he does.
Yeah, I think they've switched. He, from here on out, does not do it. Even when it comes to that Kellerman kid, he only punched him for Jamie. But what
kid?
That Kellerman kid.
Oh, the professor, or
no, the professor's kid, the one that hit Jamie.
Yeah.
It was the one that was getting the most like threatening and everything was Clay.
Yeah.
It wasn't Nathan at all. Nathan was being calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah.
And so not even that. It's like, yeah, he punched him, but the one that was doing the most was Clay. And Julian for yelling. It's like they were doing the most. Nathan was just sitting back like, these two are taking care of it. I don't have to do anything. Like, you would think that he would be like, oh my, I'm coming to get you. But no, he didn't even do anything. Really. I was like, what? Where's our Nathan at? But I'm like, I guess from here on out, he really doesn't do anything.
Right. And the people Haley punches had to do with Nathan too.
Yeah. Haley's the one that starts slapping people. And yes, when he gets kidnapped, does he try to do stuff? Well, yeah, but he's kidnapped. What do you expect him to do?
Yeah, he's trying to survive. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't really consider that part of this, but I'm like, wow, honestly, think he does change from here on out.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I guess I didn't really realize that. Yeah.
And then Lindsay finds Lucas and tells him she's going home because she's exhausted from avoiding him and Peyton. And, he says he'll drive her. And, she says that, what's ridiculous is this, and holds up a piece of her hair. And he says her hair looks great. And she says, of course you do. It's pink and blonde. And she's a single white female.
So Haley didn't bring it up. It was Lucas, or it was her conversation with Lucas when she talks about her hair.
Yeah.
Well, also, I honestly didn't notice a difference.
Neither.
I was going to ask you, I'm like, I don't really recall from the last episode or an episode before that her hair was different. Okay.
Yeah.
It's as if she just did her hair. Like, can't you see what my hair color is? I'm like, hasn't your hair color been blonde? Since we met you. Yeah, since we've met you. So that didn't really make any sense to me.
And then she says she's not blaming him. She's blaming herself because ever since Peyton came back to Tree Hill, she's been acting like a crazy bitch, and she's neurotic, insecure, paranoid, jealous, and that's not who she is. And
okay, well, I'm sorry, but that's not who you are. Then leave him. Like, Peyton isn't leaving, and Peyton is here to stay to get what she wants, which is Lucas. You know that. So if that's the case, why would you stay?
Right.
I don't understand. Leave. Like, yes, you're his publisher. then you can still go to New York and you can still talk to him. But you don't need to be in a relationship with him. If this is what you're worried about and this is who you've turned into as the person you're not, well, then you need to change some things, which is leave him.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's never good. Okay. Yeah, let's say they get married, right? Peyton's always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to be second to her. So leave him now.
Mm-hmm.
Make things easy.
Yeah. And then she tells him, she knows that he's only writing again because Payne's there, and she refuses to be a chapter in that book.
But yet she is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she, comes back later. Yeah.
Yeah, she stays. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you're the fool that stays and you even say you don't want to be a chapter in the book, well, then maybe you should leave him now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't, this is on you from here on out. This whole thing is on you because you've said it to him. You've said it to her. At least I think so. Like, you're here for him. Like, you've said it. So if you've said it and you know that's the truth, you're not being blindsided in the end for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way she acts like that at the wedding. Remember, she acts like, wow, this is the first time I'm realizing it. It's like, you've been realizing it.
Right.
Remember? Because she goes, wait, he wrote, this is the comment. Remember? And it's like, yeah, you said he started writing when she came back. Like, you know this. So why are you acting like you didn't know anything?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Lindsay's acting like a little Nathan. I'm not here for it.
Yeah, because you think with her being the editor of the book, she would have
Read it,
understood it better. Yeah.
read it, and I'm sure. I mean, she went there to stalk Lucas when he was at Tric with Peyton. You saw her car. You know what her car is. So when you read his chapters of the book, because you're the editor, you would know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but it doesn't take a little genius to understand that.
Right.
Anybody with a brain could understand and put those two things together.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be Einstein, but apparently you do in Lindsay's head.
Right. So then, he says that, she's the one that he wants, and she says she wants him to be, not in love with Pam, so looks like they're both screwed.
Well, that ain't ever going to happen, so you might as well leave now.
Mm-hmm. And then, Lucas sees that Nathan saw this whole thing play out too.
Yeah, Nathan's just watching him, and it's like, Nathan, you got your own problems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're trying to involve yourself and Lucas for.
Right. And then Mouth asks Alice why she's there, because he, when he asked her if they were dating, she laughed in his face. And then she sees him with someone else, and she sends him that mean text, and she says that wasn't mean. But if he kisses Millicent, then, you would see mean. And then Mouth says, it's interesting that she has different levels of mean, but he thinks he'll, get off at this one. And Alice says, he only gets off when she does. And Mouth says, he hopes she did because they're done. And she says she's sorry to hear that. But if he feels that way, then he's fired. And, he accepts that and says, guess it's so. But thanks for showing him that there are more important things in life than work, and then walks off.
Okay, that's being a child.
What, Alice?
No, being like, there's more important things to work. And I understand that there are, but you shouldn't quit a job if you don't have a job.
Right, yeah.
But again, he's living off skills, so I guess you could.
Mm-hmm.
Like, skills is paying for everyone. So yeah, again, how is to say like there's more important things than work? There is, but at the same time, how are you going to support yourself?
Right.
And be an adult? You can't exactly do that then.
Yeah. I know he doesn't, but he could try to work at Tric if he needed to, maybe.
But it's like all the things that you want to do in life involves money.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't add up. But I guess the fallback, he could also work for Brooke.
Right.
Somehow, some way, he could always work for Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's that.
Yeah. And then Mouth walks towards Brooke, who's holding out the napkin with Millie's number on it, and he gladly takes it from her. And then Lucas goes to see Payne, and she tells him just to rip up the check because she's moving anyways. And he asks if there's an alarm in her head that goes off every time he's happy with someone else. And he like shouts like, what does she want from him? And he flies to LA, asks her to marry him, and she says no, so he moves on.
Yeah, and he says, why haven't you? And she said, because I should have said yes. And then she says that she was young and she was scared. And I was like, well, aren't you still young? That was in my head. And then she says that if knowing, she said no. If she knew saying no would basically turn into this, she would have said yes. And that's when he gets it in his head. And that, you know, she says she misses him every day. And she told everyone she didn't come back for him, but she did. She still loves him, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, you still love me, don't you? But of course, they have to kiss, though. And so at least she tries, and then they wait a second, and then he goes in for the kiss. And then Haley, of course, is watching like the look on her face. And I was like, stick to your own relationship, because you got your own problems going on, Haley. You might want to circle back to your own. And so then, of course, they get done kissing, and he says, I have to go see Lindsay. There you go with the whole I have to go see Lindsay thing.
Yeah, and then like with Haley too, it was just like how it was in high school when she caught Lucas
the two of them.
Yeah, paying kiss in the library when he was with Brooke. Yep.
Yeah, but I didn't like it because I'm like, girl, you got your own problems going on. Your husband is cheating on you.
Yeah, it's just like history keeps repeating itself. Yeah. And then Payne goes back to the bar and tells Brooke, you know, she came back for Lucas, and Brooke says she knows that she had her Lucas stealing face on, and it's the only face she has. And Payne said it doesn't matter now because, you know, he's with Lindsay. And, you know, Brooke tells her that Lindsay doesn't stand a chance because she's been that Lindsay between Lucas and Payne. It's not a great place to be.
So, okay, if Brooke knows that, why doesn't Brooke tell Lindsay that?
I don't know, yeah.
Like, if she's
heartache.
Like, here's the thing. If she's so-called friends with Lindsay, because remember, she acts like, oh, we're all friends, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you like and respect Lindsay a little bit, you would tell her, listen, I was the other girl. He told me all of these things. He did all of these things. And he still chose Peyton.
Right.
You need to know this. Like, you know, I get that you're siding with Peyton, but that would help because then it would get Peyton with Lucas a lot sooner.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, all this time of how Brooke says like she likes Lindsay, why isn't she saying anything to her? I don't understand that at all. Like, she should be like, I know Lucas a lot more than you do. He loves Peyton, and it's never gonna change.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just wish she would say something because she acts like she likes her. But then she says, but then Brooke, she says, to go get him. And I was like, huh? And then she says,
he wrote a whole book about her.
Yeah. And then she
4
says,
years ago.
Yeah. She says, if he proposes, say yes. Wait, but he's with Lindsay.
Right.
What? It's not like Peyton even said, we just kissed. That would then maybe think that he would break up with her. And then if he proposes. But no, you don't even know that they kiss. So why would you send her after him for what?
Right.
I don't get this. He's with Lindsay.
Yeah. And yeah. Because like I said, she said about the book, like he wrote the book 4 years ago because, you know, so his feelings could have easily changed by now. They haven't, but they could, you know. And she's just assuming that's what, you know, how he feels on her own. So
yeah. Well, then she was like, well, if I came back for Lucas, what'd you come back for? And she goes, for Lucas. Game on, bitch. It was fun.
Yeah.
But I was like, really, Brooke? If that was really like, but I do feel like that joke was a little like it was funny, but it was a little like because if that was truly the case, we would have already known that. I'm just saying, like, I know it was a joke, but she just said you just told her to go after him, and then you said I'm after him. Like, I came back for him. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
That doesn't exactly play well off each other. But it was funny. I just think the joke could have been said somewhere else.
And then Haley, Nathan, and Carrie get back to the house. Haley just walks
why?
to the bedroom. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why are all three of them coming home at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Did they all ride together too?
I guess, yeah, carpool.
I can't. Like, okay, and here's my thing too. Do you remember? Okay, later on, or earlier in the episode, Haley tells Nathan, "Oh, like what we're gonna do tonight."
Mm-hmm.
Alone time. You don't get it. You don't get because they're all excited because Jamie's not home. Well, Nanny, she is. This woman is still in your house.
Mm-hmm.
How are you how are you supposed to have alone time if Carrie's around?
Right.
That's what honestly didn't understand to me was like when they walk in, I was like, wait a minute. They were so excited that the kid ain't home, but yet she's home.
Right.
She's just as bad as the kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? It's still not alone time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they can run around naked. Like Carrie's around.
Right.
I'm just saying, how can you? I'm sorry. I could not feel comfortable myself if somebody else is in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you to have alone time with your significant other and somebody else is in the house? It'd be like, when are they leaving?
Mm-hmm.
So that you then can be alone. But like, no, so that honestly made no sense to me. Like, all excited because Jamie's not going to be there, but she's still there.
Right.
Did that make sense to you?
Well, I don't know. She's drunk, so maybe they just saw that she does she have any family here? Any other friends? They could have told her maybe she should spend the night with friends or something. But yeah, maybe just because she was drunk, there, said no, yeah, I can just stay here for the night. I don't know.
Yeah, but they didn't know Haley didn't know she was drunk. Like at the beginning when she said about being alone tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
I was like,
somewhere.
It's like, did they forget Carrie's around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, Nathan said that Haley's still mad at him, and Carrie says she'll come around. What girl wouldn't want a guy to stand up for her? She knows she would.
Mm-hmm.
And, Nathan says that Haley was right. He needs to watch his temper. It just gets him into trouble. And Carrie says, she'd love to have a guy come to her rescue. Does that mean she likes trouble? Mm-hmm.
Yep, this whole bad thing. And then she says, she said a lot of inappropriate things. But she means every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I mean,
yeah.
I can't.
Mm-hmm. And then tells him she's going for a swim, so he can know what that means exactly.
Yeah, and she said that, she finally said, she knew that he was watching. She's glad he did, but it's a lot better with the light on, and she turns it on.
Mm-hmm.
My God, I can't with her.
Yeah, and then he seems to think about it before he turned the light off too.
Yeah, I was glad he turned it off, but I was like, really?
Mm-hmm. And then back at Tric, Owen asks to buy Brooke a drink, and she tells him that she better not. She's supposed to be an adult now, and doesn't want to end up like her future self. And Owen
so he says you're 22, right? I'm like, wait a minute. Wasn't a couple episodes ago they were like, we're 21. Now all of a sudden they're 22.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which 22 makes more sense than 21.
Mm-hmm.
Because they graduated when they were 18, and if this is 4.5 years, they'd be at least 22.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, that makes more sense. But I'm like, I don't know, a couple episodes ago, it was like, we're 21, which just made no sense. But I'm glad they're catching up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I did like how Owen was telling Brooke, she's acting her age, so she's fine while her mom isn't. And Brooke says, her mom's just trying to embarrass her, and he says, isn't that what moms do? And she says she guesses. But does he really think she'll end up like her mom? And he says drunk at a bar with no friends. Never, because she has friends, at least. And then Brooke asks if he's going to ask her out now or what. And he says that she's too young for him.
He says maybe when you grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So how much older is he then? Like 20? I don't know. Could he be in his late 20s almost, maybe, or maybe at least mid 20s? It seems.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But then Nathan gets in bed with Haley and acts like this is a champagne room, but she's not in the mood because she says, she's just disappointed tonight. He says he tried to be responsible, but the idiot got, out of line, and he promises he wasn't going to hit him. So, not to be mad at him.
She says,
but
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
yeah.
And then she goes, well, yeah, he says, and me? And she goes, in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
But then she adds, she should just be happy that he's not sneaking
Sneaking
around
around with another girl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but then he turns his head to the window, like to the patio, because he knows she's outside swimming.
Mm-hmm. And the light was turned back on, right? It seemed like that. So she got out, I guess, and turned it back on, unless there was a light outside, but I don't think so.
No, I think that was the outside light. Like that was just the out, like because there's like the other light. No, there was kind of lighting kind of when she was there the first time.
Okay, yeah.
But I just didn't like it. I was like, oh my God, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Like the words coming to you.
Mm-hmm. And then it gets worse still with Payne going to Lucas's, where Lindsay opens the door crying.
That same night, I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like, Lindsay, I'm so sorry. I never wanted to. And then Lindsay holds up her hand. Lucas asked me to marry him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's his face.
Right, yeah.
I can't.
Payne can only look at him, stunned. Yep.
Yeah, it's like she's looking at him like, dude, we just kissed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go and marry her?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she thought that he broke up with Lindsay, but nope, that's the opposite of that.
No, they're getting deeper. They're getting married.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay, but here's my thing. Lindsay just went on to Lucas about feeling insecure and not the person she is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say yes if the person had been all night long running after his ex? Why would you then be like, yes, I'll marry you? That to me makes no sense. That to me makes you look more insecure again, because you just confronted him about this whole thing and then you're going to go and say yes?
Right.
You weren't even talking to him all night long.
Mm-hmm.
You were avoiding him all night. I'm sorry, but somebody who you're avoiding all night long, you're not going to say yes to their proposal that night.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that just made her honestly look worse because she said yes when she confronted him about being insecure.
Mm-hmm.
So that just made it worse for her, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looked bad on him, obviously, but it was bad on her too for saying yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like when Carrie and Nathan got into that fight about the porn on his computer, and then they got married.
Yeah, that night. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just the Scott boys getting away with it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the high, watching Mia come out of her shell and not being afraid of Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And also seeing most of everybody. I missed Skills in this episode. I also liked when Q punched Jason.
Mm-hmm.
My low. A lot of everybody else, the whole Lindsay love triangle with Peyton. Lucas just needs to man up and say his feelings because he's not 12.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Victoria's still going after Brooke, and obviously the big one that I don't want to say, but of course Nathan and Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
All bad.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my highs that I thought was funny was Peyton desperately trying to give Lucas that check.
Yeah.
Honestly, what she probably should have done was just give it to Lindsay.
Right.
Because Lindsay was wanting him to take it so dang bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then it could have been like, here, we talked. Look.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then you?
Yeah, my high was when Mouth finally accepted that keeping his job isn't worth it when it comes to hurting Millicent in the process and being like under Alice's control. And then the low was everything with Carrie and Nathan. Yeah.
What would you rate it?
Like an 8.5.
Oh, I'm going with 8. Too much of Carrie and Nathan in this episode.
Right.
In my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then who's your best and worst?
The best was Brooke, just because she, I mean, it wasn't the best way, but she still set up Millicent and Mouth, and we know eventually they will end up together. So she was right about them getting married and falling in love. And then she was trying to be supportive of Peyton, even though she didn't really know the full story about what was going on. But she wasn't like kind of betraying Peyton by listening to Lucas and talking to Lindsay and everything. And, while she's still dealing with Victoria there and everything. And then the worst, I mean, Carrie was pretty bad too, but Lucas was just driving me crazy with that. I need to go see Lindsay, and then, kissing Peyton and everything. So, yeah.
For me, the worst was Carrie. I mean, everything she was doing wrong in this episode. And I cannot stand her.
Yeah.
Everybody else I can like watch and like, roll my eyes about. But her, it's just very hard to get through a scene with her. So definitely the worst. The best, this is going to be controversial. I'm gonna go with Peyton.
Okay.
Like I know she kissed Lucas in the end. I know that. But you have to think about it too. She went for the kiss. He stopped it, but then he went back in for the kiss. So, there's that. But the reason why I feel like she's the best is she got Mia out there. She was so nervous, especially once she saw Jason, that she gave her the confidence to go up there, stand up to him. And she did. She even stood up to him after her performance. So I feel like that was the push she needed to get out there. And also she finally was doing the right thing by paying Lucas, even though the boy just would not take the check. But she was doing like, here's the thing. Peyton could have played it like, no, he didn't want my check. But instead, she was doing everything possible to give him that check. And because she could have easily just told Lindsay, like, listen, I tried to pay him. But she didn't. She was like, you're taking this check whether you like it or not. And that was like the adult of her, because she could have easily, nah.
Right.
And still just kept, getting this, the time for free. But she didn't. So I was happy that she was finally paying him, because, she needs to pay him. Unless you're together, then I think you should pay him.
Right.
But I also don't think she would have went after Lucas in the end if Brooke didn't push her to.
Right.
Also, here's the thing. I think maybe it was a good thing, maybe, that Peyton saw it first. Because think if somebody had to tell her, or, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like,
Right.
it could have been worse. Like, if somebody had to tell her, like, or, oh, let's be sensitive because Peyton doesn't know yet, or.
Yeah, that's excellent.
And it could get twisted in a million different directions. And I just feel like it was maybe the best that she saw it from the two of them, rather than having somebody lie to her or try to make up some other scenario of this. So maybe it was best that she just found out this way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, because at least she can walk away and just never talk to the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard in the town, but she could do it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I thought she was the best. I mean, she was, and honestly, she was trying in this episode not to talk to Lucas. He's the one that kept coming up to her.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, she was trying not to. So that's, you know, again, on him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's why I said it's a little, you know, controversial of like, you know, picking her, but she did help people in the episode.
Right.
So, and I guess, you know, that kiss did push him to propose. So
Mm-hmm.
it made him to finally decide who he's going to be with.
Right.
I guess you could say that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's still bad, but yeah. What's the next episode?
Episode 8, please, please, please let me get what I want.
Wow, long title.
Mm-hmm.
Too many pleases.
Yeah, sounds like Peyton.
Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah.
Owen.
I do think it's probably Peyton.
Yeah.
Because that speech she makes.
Yeah, she's a big plot, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.